Hello, good morning. It's Leanne Peters here, and I'm here to share with you or create a space of healing. This event is for some of my Temple of Balance patrons. It's our healing list event that happens at the end of each month. So this month I have 36 people on my healing list, which I've got you guys all here, and been feeling as usual, feeling on the theme or the direction that I'd like to take this event today. And I'm really interested in the energy of overcoming and pushing through obstacles and staying hopeful that everything's going to work out, that sort of thing. So as I was realised that that's what we're going to do, and breakthrough energy as well, I started writing some P words down, P words in my journal, which I don't have with me, but it started with words persist, patience, persevere, push, practice. And then I thought, oh, we've got some P themes happening, so I just allowed 12 P words. Hi, Teala. Hi, Matt. I just allowed 12 P words, P starting words, to come through. And then I cycled those through and added those to your names. So we've cycled through 3 times with 12 P words. So those of you on the healing list have been assigned a P word. And hi, Emily. You've been assigned a P word. So I'll let you know what your P word is in a minute. And you can see how it fits and sits. I've got my smudge stick, so I'd like to do some smudging today to get us started. I've got my owl drum. Hi, Bridget. I've got my owl drum, so I'd like to do a bit of drumming. And I'd like to really push past our obstacles. So I would like to use my special beater today, which has rattle on it for the drum. It might be a little agitating, but I want to push through. We have to push through the agitation and the obstacles to be able to break through. So I don't want to create too much of a nice lovey-dovey supportive place, even though that will kind of be in the background for me, or the underlying foundation. I also want to push us, because that's what obstacles do. They push us, they test us to see if we're ready to really push through and break through. So I want to use the rattle. I've also got a piece of paper here, so I want to do some intuitive drawing. So I've got a few markers down here with me. Hi, Jane. Yes, it was a great day yesterday. Thanks for joining me with that. So I've got some markers of all different colours, and I'm going to just create an intuitive something. Depends on what we need at the time when I get there to that part. I've got my healing energy cards. Hi, Brittany. Lovely to see you. And Susie. Looks like lots of you are joining me today, which is wonderful. So we've got lots of things to focus on, and then I've just got to figure out the order and how we're going to do it. I feel like it would be really great to start with some smudging. So let's smudge first. I've got my sage here, so I'm going to light this. And I find smudging, or it doesn't matter how you can use a smudge stick, you can use incense, you could just take some deep breaths, you could use other tools. It doesn't have to be sage. To smudge is basically preparing ourselves. I see this time, this smudging time, as time to clear away our everyday stuff that we're dealing with. Everyday dramas, everyday things, everyday duties, and put that stuff aside so that we can go deeper in this healing time today. Because the less everyday stuff we've got floating around at the forefront of our mind, then the deeper we can go with the healing and the connection that's possible today. Okay, great. We've got some nice smoke happening. Okay, so take some nice big breaths. And we ask this sacred smoke to wash over our bodies and carry away with it all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks, and attachments. Let's surrender all that stuff now and let it go. Let's also let go of the stuff that we've got going on in our life, the things that we have to do, the things that we have to do later, the things that we're working out in our life. Let's put all that aside for this time that we're spending together today. So put it aside. Maybe if it works for you, imagine that you're putting all that stuff you've got to do, all that stuff on your mind that you need to keep dealing with, that you put it in a box outside your door, and it just tucks away there, and it will be there when we finish this, no doubt. But just give yourself a break from that everyday stuff that you're dealing with and the stuff that's happening at this time. And take some big breaths and let go. Let go of your obligations and the things happening, and bring yourself fully here as you can be. And so it is. Okay, let's put this guy out. Got some sand in the bottom of my bowl. Okay, it looks out to me. Okay, let's look and see what your P words are. Those of you on the healing list today, I've assigned you with P words. It started with the words persist, patience, perseverance, push, practice, and they're just extended from there. So all of you on my healing list, I have assigned you a P word. So as I say your name and I let you know what your P word is, I also imagine that brings you here into our healing circle, our healing space. If you're not on the list today and you're watching, then you're very welcome to imagine yourself coming through and see which P word or words stand out for you that you need to remember at this time. There may also be other words that haven't been assigned to you that speak to you as well. The word that has been assigned to you, I ask you just to sit with it and see how it feels. Does it feel right? Is there something that you're rejecting about the word? How can you welcome it? See how it fits for you. So let's start. We'll start on this page actually. We'll start with Angie Griswold. Welcome, Angie. Your word, your P word is play. Angie Griswold, play. Kimberly Veness, your word is pray. Pray. Emily Fussell, your word is people. Viktoria I Daniels, your word is predict. Joanne Monroe, your word is persist. Andrea Stuart, your word is patience. Angela Fraser, your word is persevere. Jane Corlett, your word is push. Teala Smith, your word is practice. Nicole E, your word is protect. Michele Burch, your word is permeate. Anne-Marie Douglas, your word is pursue. Robin Hippler, your word is play. Alison, your word is pray. Tashy Gerlach, your word is people. Sylvia Barley, your word is predict. So I've cycled through. We cycle through 3 times with each word. Susan Sonsteng, your word is persist. And Kanti Devi Wedad, your word is patience. Matthew Keith, your word is persevere. Chelsea Keith, your word is push. Christopher Regan, your word is practice. Rebecca Ross, your word is protect. Suzie Nicholls, your word is permeate. Priscilla Kimboko, your word is pursue. Yvonne Kruzich, your word is play. So Bridget Mehrtens, your word is pray. Janice Chalmers, your word is people. Sandi Greenham, your word is predict. And Joanna Levine, your word is persist. Kathleen Glen, your word is patience. Rayna Ortiz, your word is persevere. Avril Daly, your word is push. Pamela Florea, your word is practice. Marguerite Brady, your word is protect. Nicole Wiggins, your word is permeate. And lucky last but not least is Jane Larson, and your word, Jane, is pursue. Pursue. So see how your word sits for you and what you've got going on, and look at it from all sorts of angles as well. What is that word? What's the definition of that word? What does it mean for you right now? What is the opposite of that word? And have you been feeling that? Maybe the word is trying to push you out of something that you feel stuck with. So welcome to all of you on the healing list, and thank you so much for your support. And I imagine you're all here now in this circle with me in this room. So let's do some pushing and persisting and practicing, and I'm going to play the owl drum. Let's actually pull a card first, and then I'll play the owl drum. I'm noticing all the P words. Okay, what's the best card we need now as we move into drumming time? So the best card for those of us here in this healing circle is, best card is this guy here. Ah, interesting, Teala. Thank you. We have card 20, reconnection. Reconnection. It's in the rise category here. And down here it says, release the separation issues that you have. Release the separation issues that have you feeling disconnected, alone, or at conflict with yourself. Open your crown and look beyond what you see. So what do you sense rather than what you actually see? So reconnecting with yourself. And this is especially about resolving separation issues. Issues where you feel separate from yourself, separate from others, separate from your life's path, separate from spirit. Where are you feeling separation? That's what this card's really about, is reconnecting and resolving those separation issues. So if you're at conflict, conflict is a form of separation. So if you're at conflict with yourself and you're battling out maybe head and heart, clash, then there's some separation that's playing out. If you're at conflict with others, especially if it's playing out in multiple areas, then there's a separation that's playing out in your relationship with others, which is likely reflecting on your own separation issues within yourself. Do you have past issues that are coming up at the moment that are to do with separation, divorce, even death or the passing of loved ones? That is like being separated from them. Children as well, people like this. So is there something, an issue or a wound that you carry from the past, and something that happened that's directly connected with separation? Maybe you're feeling separated from your life's path because maybe things aren't working out the way you hoped. Maybe you've had to change your course because of changes that have happened lately. Maybe you're not really feeling 100% involved with your life for some reason. So is there separation playing out? Do you feel at odds or alone or apart from your path? Do you feel ripped away from your path, or however you want to see it? Because that's probably separation playing out as well. So usually separation issues that play out externally, whether it's in our life itself, in our relationships based on the past, it usually comes back to a separation issue we have inside ourselves. And these external things are reflecting or rippling out, I suppose, from the separation that we feel within us. So this card is very much about separation and how we can reconnect again. How can we glue those separated parts back together again, if that's the space that we're in? How can we resolve conflict? How can we release the old wounds that keep us separated and at odds with ourselves? If you've been feeling alone or apart, not a part of things, that you're doing everything on your own, that's probably a separation thing. Also, it's a big issue that tends to be carried on. Probably one of the deepest issues I think that we carry as humans are our separation issues. And when we realize it, something really clicks into place, and it can make for a really profoundly deep healing when we realize we've been living our life feeling separate and torn apart from ourselves. And ultimately, if we're open to it, you know, it probably comes back to when we were separated from the Creator, and our energy separated from the Creator to become a soul or what have you, to experience these types of incarnations, if you're open to that, or however you think. Whatever you think about the Creator, being separated from the Creator is probably the ultimate separation that we still probably carry as a wound, but that's quite deep. So let's I'm going to play the drum. Like I mentioned before, I've got my rattly drum, so it's going to rattle. Deliberately, it's going to rattle. Ah, yes. Yeah, that's good, Emily. And it's not easy dealing with those separation issues. But actually, once we realise that there is a separation pattern that's playing out, a wound that's, we can see how it sort of fits in with a lot of different things. It can actually be a massive eye-opener. And I found that I was resisting it a lot. I remember when I first realised I had separation issues, and I was living just a shell of myself really in some ways. And then when I realised that thread of connection that connected, oh, I've got separation issues, and all these things that connected with that are like dozens, from fear of separation with my partner, to my parents separating, to death of loved ones. All these things had been really playing out. So once I realized, hey, separation issues, it was clear. It's so clear, and it resolved so many things that I thought were all different things. They were all connected. So I'm going to play the rattly beater, because I want to push us now. We need to push through these obstacles and overcome whatever it is, whether it's a separation issue or whatever it is you're dealing with now that needs to be resolved or needs to be broken through, you know, this breakthrough energy. We have to, in many ways and in many, probably most instances, feel that uncomfortableness and feel that agitation as we then get on that verge of breakthrough, and then push through that bubble or push through that barrier that has been stopping us from breaking through this issue. So I want to push us. I want to drum intensely. I want to probably create a space where you just find it really difficult to listen, but push through that, because breakthrough will be on the other side. So I'm going to move my microphone, because it does tend to not gel well with the drum at the best of times. So I'm going to pin that away, put that away. So hopefully you'll still hear the drum, you'll still hear the rattle, and let it stir things up. Let it move things that you're holding deep inside you, in those deep, dark places that you've been squashing down or ignoring. And let these stir up, let them come to the surface so that you can release them. So this could be quite powerful if you give yourself permission to release and to heal. So I'll chat with you when I'm done drumming. Take a deep breath. There's nothing you can do wrong, and enjoy. Thank you. I trust you enjoyed that drumming time. I could feel us all like in a drumming circle, drumming or dancing together and celebrating. There's this a lot of vocal energy that I could feel, like screams of grief, like wails of grief, we could say. Um, Also screams of celebration. There is a lot of very vocal energy that I could hear in the drum coming from each of us in the circle as we vocalized and sort of let rise out of us that grief, or rise out of us those issues that we've been carrying, and really allowing ourselves to push into breakthrough and push through that. So the energy's calmed down now, and I imagine that we're all sitting now in this circle, and I'm going to start drawing. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I trust that it will be what it needs to be. So let's start with some black. So nice big breath, and let's just make sure you can see. I think you can see most of that. Okay, nice big breath. I feel it feels interesting. Okay, I'll talk us through as I continue. This is a space, something hanging, something suspended out here in the unknown. Something new, something old. Something we may have forgotten about ourselves, and maybe this current obstacle that we might be dealing with is testing that to see if we're really ready to step into this next level, this next chapter, this next phase of our life. So we might be stepping all around the issue, all around the problem, not going into it. This feels like us stepping around the edges, tippy-toeing around the water without going in. Speaking but not actually addressing the issue that we may have on our mind that we need to bring up with our partner or someone that we care about. And we're tiptoeing around the edges. There's only so many times we can go around the edges before we've got to dive in. So I see us walking, little footsteps on the path now, moving ahead, walking towards the deep, dark unknown, unsure and uncertain about what's in this place, but just finding the courage to see. And we get to the edge and it feels like a diving board for us to dive into this unknown void, this unknown space. Diving in and seeing what is in this for us. What do we need to learn? What are we stepping into? Are we going to survive whatever new thing we're starting or started? How is it going to work out? Will the people we love stay? Will the people we love go? Will our path change? Lots of questions and not many answers right now because it's unmanifest. It's not a fixed thing yet. It's unformed, unmanifest energy that is yet to become something specific, or the specific thing that it's going to be for us. And there are stars around here, which to me is a sign of remembering who we are. Remembering our skills and capabilities, remembering our ambition our ability to self-motivate, to be inspired, to pursue, to persist, to act, to move ahead. So as we dive into this labyrinth, it feels like a labyrinth, the unknown, the void, and finding our path and finding our way as we stagger around, figuring it out as we go, working it out, going from here to there, and probably unorganized, but just moving, continuing to walk the labyrinth around and finding our best to find, doing our best to find the center, all these little footprints and footsteps, working our way and allowing it to manifest. And then once we discover, once we uncover what it is that we are pushing into, this new beginning, this new start, this new thing, this new way, something glows and grows within us from deep inside, because we are ready and we feel something that connects us deeply with our path here and now. We feel alive, we feel love, we feel excitement, motivation, enthusiasm about what we've stepped into. And things start to expand and grow as we celebrate and as we try and as we continue. Okay, so cool. You can see what I'm doing now. I've gone to red. Red, so black is the unknown. Yeah, black is the unknown. So I felt like the black is taking us, enticing us into the unknown that calls us, and however that might look for us. The red, to me, is the physical. So this is now about bringing whatever this represents for us as individuals into our physical life as a physical, real thing, a reality, bringing it into reality, grounding it, integrating it into our life. So I'm just going to start adding some red as a way to anchor this into our body, into our life, into the moments of our experience, not as something that we just dread or dream, but something that becomes our life, becomes who we are. And we might look back on parts of our life from the past where that has happened, where we've stepped into the unknown and it's changed us. It's helped us become a stronger and better version of ourselves, hopefully. So out here on the wings, these feel like fireworks, but they also feel like flailing arms, options, opportunities, people we might meet along the way, new experiences, new parts of ourselves that will be called to the challenge or called to action. And the physical, so the red balls here out on the end is bringing some grounding and anchoring to this energy. And I'm just going to continue expanding and growing this labyrinth, this energy that wants to take form, this new. So arrows symbolizing direction, clarity as we move forward, but using the red, clarity and direction in our life. So finding our way to make it happen, to see it through, to make the best decisions that we can possibly make in the moment based on where we are as we walk that labyrinth into the unknown. And allowing our heart to become, in some ways, a compass that helps direct us. So we've got space up here that I'm curious about doing something in. I want to get some blue. So blue is about truth. Nice dark blue, hopefully. Okay, and I'm just going to expand. It looks a bit like black. Blue is deep. It's expansive. And it helps us tap into our truth. The truth of who we are. The truth of who we are underneath everything. Oops. I was trying really hard not to draw on the wall, but I was unsuccessful. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Oh no, we might not need to actually. Okay, I'm going to continue this up through here. Feels like the land terrain to me. Going into new territory, exploring new lands and new landscapes, having adventure and new experiences. Doesn't mean we need to go to a new land, but the environment may seem different to us as we step out and grow and step into those new beginnings. Let's grab a healing energy card at this point. I'm going to put reconnection card back, and just going to grab a card for now, see what that wants to add, especially in regards to what's just been created. Now, the yellow paper to me is about strength, confidence, courage, our ability to pursue and persist and push through adversity and break through, push through obstacles is what I'm trying to say. So I've got strength there. So feel this rise in you as you step into the unknown, and you have the courage to do that. It takes courage to do it. It's easy to not do anything. It's easy to step back and procrastinate. It's easy to lay back and not do anything and not bring what we are curious about or what we might desire into our life. That's easy. It takes effort to get off the couch and move and take the courage to try something new. So the best card to add at this point is this here. Oh, I knew it was going to be this card. It sort of flipped around when I was shuffling, and I'm not surprised this card's come up at all. It's card 60, called Untangling, and it's in the action category, red for action. It says sort out the tangle. And you know, when I'm saying tangle and I put aside everything that I've said as this has been created, it looks a bit like a tangle. And this is the thing with new beginnings, and as we step into the new and as we break through, it can feel unclear, it can feel messy, and it can feel tangled and chaotic and crazy. But as you probably felt as I was creating this, and as it was broken down into steps as the creation process was happening, there is order to this chaos. Where is the order in the chaos that you feel around you? So it says sort out the tangle, clear the knots, anxiety, because things might be complication, acknowledge what is a tangled mess in your life, and do your best to find a solution. Do you need to cut that tangle out? Do you need to close some doors? Do you need to spend some time untangling things if things feel just too messy and complicated and tangled up? It says a solution, potential, and freedom exists. So this is very much an action card about taking the action to untangle yourself, especially if things feel complicated and confusing and crazy at this time. So break them down into doable steps, and maybe step back and consider the bigger picture of how has it got to this? Is there something that you've been putting off, or something you've been avoiding or ignoring that might be getting really loud? So you might have a pull or a push here, but there's a loud thing over here that's trying to get your attention because maybe you've been ignoring or denying it. So if you can take a look at everything that you've got going on and see if you can sort it out, that will probably help give some clarity to the direction that you're going or the direction that you're moving. So things feel with this, it feels like this is moving. It feels like this is a moving part. It feels like it's almost floating, but it's attached with like an umbilical cord. So it's moving about. It's a bit like a balloon that's on a string, and it's moving. So things move. The balloon or the energy that remains, I don't know if I want to say completely fixed, but that remains somewhat certain in some ways. It's the moving parts that are uncertain, and the moving parts that we need to adapt and navigate and be flexible with. So that feels like all the arms that are, you know, one might pull here and one might pull there, and then we feel like we're doing the splits, or gets back to that separation thing. If we can get all of these arms working together, all these facets of ourselves, our ideas, our thoughts, our relationships, our daily life, our time management, all that sort of stuff, if we can get those all working together as best as possible for the one goal, the one purpose, the one aim. Could be something simple, like I want to follow the truth, the path of my highest truth. It could be something like that. Maybe something super specific that you're about to step into. Can you get all aspects of yourself, emotionally, mentally, physically, and in your life on board with this, so that you can get everything working together as a team instead of opposing, so having opposing sides to things within you? So I trust that helps and supports you. So untangling is our message there. And I'm going to prepare to pull a card to go. I think we're pretty much done. The energy feels like it's hard to explain, but it feels like it's stopped. This is what happens, especially when I'm drawing. So I trust this resonates. I want to thank you so much for your support and for being on our healing list today and for joining me with this video. I do trust something here has been helpful for you. So as always, I recommend that you take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. So allow whatever's come up for you to settle and sink in as it needs to. Well, that's great, Brittany. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, let's grab a card to go. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need now as we move forward from here. So how can we make this count in our life? Thanks, Bridget. Okay, the best card for what's next is this right here. It's this. Oh, here's the truth coming in. The Sword of Truth. Card 102. It's in the neutral category, which is center. And down here it says the safety of the truth. Truth protects us. The universe protects the truth. Yes, the universe protects the truth. So we can trust, or we can figure out, if we don't quite trust it yet, figure out if it's true for us, that there is safety in truth, and there is safety in the sword of truth. And safety is basically protection in the truth, and honesty and integrity. So the safety of the truth, this is not revenge, attack, or sinking to low levels of bitterness. So if something's low and attacking and not aligned with truth, try your best not to sink to those levels of attack or revenge or bitterness. rise above with the truth. Hold true. You know what the truth is inside your heart. And so if others don't believe it, or they have a different truth, or they are telling lies and you have to defend yourself, do you really have to? Can you just be okay to know that you know the truth in this situation? You're not going to sink to those levels. It says here that it is about honesty, patience, responsibility, and courage. It takes courage to be truthful and to go against that which is not true. Although it does become easier. The more you align with truth and you live it and you make that a priority, the easier it becomes to live and speak and be your truth. And it's not something that you have to, and the truth brings all those arms together, exactly. And it's not something you have to preach and force onto others. You just live it. You live it and be it and breathe it. And you become a role model without even realizing it, of people that watch you living your truth. And I know for me, I can trust people who are living the truth. I don't know that I can trust people that I don't see living the truth, meaning they might say something to me and then in public they go out and say the opposite, or they don't say anything when they have an issue with something. I find it difficult to trust people that aren't honest. So like that saying goes, if you want to be trusted, be honest. And so our truth is what's going to help us through moving forward from here. As we break through, hold your sword of truth, hold it high, and live your truth proudly. Don't be afraid to question your truth as you go, because our truth can become a fixed thing that we that may change for us, but we don't allow ourselves to change with the truth, if that makes sense. I think as we mature and as we experience things, we might think something to be a certain way, and then we realize, hey, maybe it's not that way at all. So I think our truth needs to be flexible, but aligning with the truth that we feel in the moment, to me at least, is really important. So what does the sword of truth mean to you at this point and moving forward from here? Thanks so much for joining me today. It's been my privilege and honour to share with you. Have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you again, perhaps next month, for our March Healing List event. If you're inspired to join in or participate again, let me know if you've got questions, and have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you.